Welcome to the Transform Your Wealth and Health podcast, where experts in wealth, health, and fitness help transform your life. Here's your host, Andy Arter.
This podcast is in conjunction with DJA Marketing. Hi everybody. Today's podcast is about something that more and more people seem to be suffering from, and that's overwhelm. Do you remember those days when they introduced laptops, mobile phones, all sorts of technical advantages that we're going to have to mean that we had more leisure? Yeah, has that happened? As many things that's been introduced actually taken things away from us, but meant that more things can be added to us? Yeah, of course. So our day has got longer, we're always available now, and things have changed. So you have to just get on with it. But more and more people are suffering from overwhelm, and here's a couple of ways we can try and reduce it, cope with it, and stop it. So there's more than one way to overcome overwhelm, but the quickest is money. Money! So most people with an entrepreneurial mind will at some point succumb to overwhelm. It's an inevitable situation for someone who has tons of ideas and projects, but not enough resources to carry them all out. If that sounds familiar, if it sounds like you, then we better crack on quickly and try and help you. So where does this leave you? Two things I would suggest to cut through the crap. Think money, produce instant cash, and you've just produced instant help. Not too much overwhelm for billionaires, I'd suggest. The skills are out there, but you haven't always got enough money to pay for them. But those guys obviously have. So if you get your money in and stop the overwhelm by getting help. So secondly, you'll never be able to do everything. So you need to prioritise, and you need to prioritise to do the right things first. This is why I created the TTO technique to help determine which projects to undertake first. Something that I use when I've got tons of things to do and I think, what shall I do? What's more important? How to cut through the crap and try and get the right things done first. Some people are naturally good at it. I'm not, so I use this. The T is for task importance. What's the most important thing that you need to do out of all these things that are in front of you need doing quickly? The second T is for time importance. The O is for opportunity cost. So if you score each criteria out of 10, it'll be a maximum of 30. Just ask yourself, how important is the task to what you are trying to achieve overall? So that's the first thing, is the task. What are you trying to achieve overall? How important against that is this task? Secondly, what are the time considerations and time constraints? And thirdly, if you don't do this thing, there will be a cost. It's an opportunity cost. It could be an opportunity gained, or it could be an opportunity lost, but it will be an opportunity cost. So what's it going to cost you if you don't do it? So let's give you an example. If you was to try and work out between two things, and most people don't actually try and work out between two things when you get overwhelmed, it's normally 22 things. What am I going to do first? But I'll cut this simple. So just as an example, if you was to think, shall I paint my new office, or shall I employ a virtual assistant because I'm getting a bit overwhelmed? So let's go through it. Painting, task importance. I've given it a 6. Hardly life or death, but it would brighten up the place. Time consideration, 7. Best do it before the office looks too shabby and whilst it's clear. Opportunity cost, 6. The cost here being that if your office doesn't look acceptable, then you might discourage clients. You could lose business. Total score, 19. Looking for a VA, a virtual assistant, to help you. Task importance, I gave it a 7. If it's affecting your mood and would make you much more efficient and happier, I think it's worthwhile scoring it quite highly. Time consideration, I gave it a 7. You need to do this quickly, otherwise things are going to start to fall apart and you're not going to enjoy your work. You definitely need help, then you're going to score it highly. I've given it a 7. Opportunity cost, if you don't do this, you could get ill or customers could leave you. So there's a cost there to be had by not doing this. And you also stand to gain new clients if it goes well. So the total score there is 22. So you're looking for a VA. If you're just prioritizing those two things, the VA scored 3 points higher, you've got no problem. But if the scores are a tie or very similar, and you're looking for the highest opportunity cost, because once you lose that opportunity, you can't always get it back. So if you think along the lines of tennis players, unless you're the best tennis player in July, you are not going to win Wimbledon. There's no point in being the best tennis player in December. I don't know what tennis tournaments they have in December, but it's not Wimbledon. You need to be the best player in July. So it's very, very time orientated. So if we were thinking along the lines of tennis players and it's operating to your highest level, you've got a time orientated task, and that's being peak at the right time in July. If you'd like a copy of the TTO technique so that you can prioritize your day, then please contact me as usual at transformyourwealthandhealth@gmail.com.